Good evening. We call to order the West Valley City Council meeting. We note that we have a full quorum of council members here. Everyone is in attendance. We will turn now to Councilman Lars Nordfeldt for our opening ceremony.
Thank you. Could everyone please join with me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And so we go now to our minutes of May 12th for the council for approval of the minutes.
Mayor, move for approval of the minutes of May 12th.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have the second. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll place that for a vote. All in favor of approving the minutes of May 12th, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. The minutes are approved. We now go to our comment period, and we would note, I believe that there are a number of you who signed up for on the sheet here and would think that you would do that now, but if you are here to make comments regarding the community development block grant budget or related to that, we will open a separate portion of our meeting specifically for public comment on that. So if you are here to comment on that, please do not, I assume that most of you signed this, that's what it was for. Who then signed this that was not here for the CDBG? Okay. Then, Mr. Markham, we invite you to come forward. Looks like you're the one.
Okay, Mike Markham, 3008 Alice Circle. I got excited sitting in there listening to the plans about the Cultural Event Center. But I don't want you to cut too much out of it. Alcohol brings in a lot of money. You know, sitting in that room, there's probably only 2 or 3 abiders in there. Probably 3 counting me. You gotta have a bar, you gotta have it accessible on one corner or someplace that it can be for the amphitheater or inside. I get involved with the Greek Festival every year, and they bring in a phenomenal amount of revenue from alcohol. We can't continue to create our bubble. We've got to have a bar. You've got to have beer. You've got to have a little bit of a prep kitchen in case you have cheese and crackers or wine and crackers, depending on what you're having. And if you're not an abider and a drinker, you can't say no. We can't have that. You know, we need to grow the city. Steve Bueller brought up Bravenel Hall people, what you can do. I don't know how many Bravenel people are going to come to the west side anyway. A lot of those people probably don't cross Redwood Road. A lot of people will agree with me. One of the things we've got going against us for getting people out here is the name of our city, West Valley. I've lived all over this valley. I've gone to East High, graduated from Cypress High, I've gone to elementary school in Murray. The west side has never had good thoughts. So why did we name it West Valley? We're just growing on that image. I live here. I've lived here for 40 years in the same house. All my kids are educated in West Valley. People say you can't get an education on West Valley. Well, you can if the parents are involved. All 3 of mine have got college degrees. But we got to, if we're going to do that and we want the amphitheater to work, you got to have beer, you got to have wine, you got to have... How many here have gone to the concert hall in Wendover? You see the line at the bar, people getting something to drink to carry into the concert with them? That's part of real life. We got to have it. So don't start cutting things like that out because maybe you don't drink it. A lot of people do that will go to those concerts if you want to get them there. You know, I know there's liabilities with alcohol. There's a lot of people can get carried away with it. But it also brings in a lot of money. I think there was some dollars floating around. You know, Corey's already told me he'd have a beer, one of the first beers drawn out there with me if they put in the bar. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. And I believe that was all the public comment, or just general comments to our city manager then? Any comments?
Sir, none tonight, thank you.
Thank you to the council. Any comments? Okay. Next on our agenda is item number 7. This is to discuss the issue of the Community Development Block Grant. We have distributed not only to the council members but on our website information related to the items that have been recommended for funding on the Community Development Block Grant in accordance with the restrictions placed upon that for administration, other activities, neighborhoods, public services, etc. And that list is before you and available for review. This continues our standard practice from previous years of having that presented and an independent group go through that and make recommendations independent from the council, I should say. And the council still retains that final control, but it's a good process that they go through to evaluate these different programs and fund them. That is the issue. So now I will declare open the public hearing portion of Resolution 15-84 regarding the West Valley City proposed allocation of CDBG funds. With that then to the public, since they signed up, do you want us to just call them up in that order? Is that, yeah, okay. So Holly Mullen, since you signed up this way, we'll just take them in that order. And if you haven't signed up, we'll also let those people as well have an opportunity. If you would come forward and state your name, if you're representing an organization, who that organization is. And I think, do we still have the requirement here for the address? No.
It's on the form, I believe.
Yeah, they'll put it on here, so we're okay. But if you, for our audience, electronically.
Absolutely. Good evening, Mayor Bigelow and City Council and Manager Pyle. My name is Holly Mullen, and I'm the Executive Director at the Rape Recovery Center in Salt Lake City. I'm really pleased to be here this evening and grateful that the committee I earlier spoke with through the process has recommended us for the full request that we made in our grant application of, I even put an odd number there, 8208. Forgot the last 2 decimal points. But anyway, thank you very much. It has been great to be out here again. I have been the director now almost 4 years at the Rape Recovery Center. And I was sort of, still kind of feeling my way around with a lot of the different cities and the CDBG programs, and learned that there was some history that we did get some funding from West Valley for our low-income clients who are all survivors of sexual assault. But I had somehow, dropped that somewhere along the line and did a little noodling around and finally found the application process. So got that together, really happy to be out here again, and hope that you'll fund us at the request that we've asked and that the committee has recommended. We have been in business at the Rape Recovery Center very quickly, and I know you have all this in the paperwork. And please tell me there's a time limit, I'm sure. I don't want to 5. Okay, I'll respect that certainly. We have been in business since 1974, and we're a nonprofit, of course. We are actually, in the state of Utah, the only nonprofit independent agency that does this type of work with victims of sexual assault, ages 14 and older, on a really full-time, concentrated basis. There are other programs certainly within domestic violence shelters throughout the state, actually, and certainly through the county. But this is what we do, and this is what we do best for 40 years now. The request that I have before West Valley City specifically would fund 2 of our really successful programs that I'm very proud of. Our Hospital Response Team Advocacy Program. These are specially trained team advocates who within about 30, we try to get them there within 35 minutes of a victim of sexual assault reporting to a local hospital. So we have about 15 hospitals from the very north end of Salt Lake County all the way down to the south to Draper, and then east and west. They work hand in hand with the sexual assault nurse examiners who gather forensic evidence during rape exams. Our advocates work directly with the victim to support, reassure, just really be a calming supportive influence. As you can imagine, is a very grueling and difficult process for a victim. We see both male and female clients, and in this case, about 85% of our clients live on very low incomes. We have a sliding fee scale, so this particular program, I always sing the praises of the federal CDBG program in all the cities I visit, because it's really one window for low-income folks who often have no regular medical care or insurance to get the kind of assistance they need. The second program we're seeking funding for is what we call our skills counseling program. It's basically an immediate, very concentrated 4 to 6 week program, 1 hour a week with a client who is in the throes of immediate crisis after a rape or sexual assault. There's a lot of research to show that. We also do, of course, therapy at our center, but a person who's in crisis after this kind of a really, really terrible traumatic event really has to get focused in on coping with that crisis, the sleeplessness, the problems with eating, the high anxiety, the fears. We work on that for 4 to 6 weeks, and then at that point the victim survivor has the choice of going on to more in-depth therapy at our center, or sometimes they say, I think I'm okay for now, can I come back if I need any further help or services? In that window, that door is always open. So we hope very much to secure this funding. Our clients primarily come from Salt Lake City and West Valley City. Those are our two largest. Not surprisingly, I'm sure that's where all our population is, but very much would appreciate that support. And I also want to say we're developing I see Chief Russell here. We've developed a really good relationship, I think, and we're working on it with the police force out here. They have been, as you well know, right out in front of supporting victims of these terrible crimes and starting by believing victims when they come for help from the police. And in fact, the reformed Special Victims Unit was at our office today taking a tour and talking with them, and I'm really, really happy with the work they're doing out here. Just want to tell you how much we appreciate them, and thank you for your support.
Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Pyle?
Sorry, pardon me. I just wanted to thank Ms. Mullen very much for coming out and also emphasize the relationship that we have with her and how positive it has been. We're very happy for that. But I also really am making a comment here to correct myself. I actually got myself one step ahead here. There's no time limit on the public hearing.
You shouldn't say that. Now we'll all be going, we'll all be going on forever.
Right, so you're good to go.
All right, thanks so much.
Okay. There is no official time limit. But if you go on for 30 minutes, we stop listening. So. Anyway, remember, a motion to adjourn is always in order. So, let's go on. Sarah Maservi. Okay.
Hello, my name is Shara Maservi. I'm here representing the English Skills Learning Center. Since 1988, the English Skills Learning Center has helped adult English language learners acquire the skills that they need to more successfully integrate into our community. We greatly appreciate the support West Valley City has provided over the years for these efforts. We are grateful for your ongoing recognition of the accomplishments of our students through your English Initiative Certificate of Achievement. Our 5 English programs, Citizenship Preparation, Empowering Parents, Job Readiness, and Life Skills ESL, are taught primarily by volunteers. These volunteers are motivated by their desire to interact with people from other cultures and to create a welcoming community. They not only give their time and energy every week to working with our students, but they commit themselves to completing our 12-hour volunteer training to ensure that they are well equipped to help our students reach their goals. Today, on behalf of the English Skills Learning Center, I encourage the City Council to award the recommended $9,000. This will allow us to continue our mission of educating adult English language learners who cannot attend traditional ESL classes. It will also help us to continue supporting our volunteers who build meaningful relationships across cultural boundaries in West Valley City. We believe that our programs help cultivate more engaged residents who strengthen the local community for the long term. We hope you will continue to invest in us and support these effective programs. Thank you.
Thank you. Stuart Rouse.
I'm trained to do a 2.5-minute talk, so let's see if I can get under that. Council members, Mayor, it's delightful to be out with you again. I represent Legal Aid Society of Salt Lake. I'm the executive director there. Our request is for Domestic Violence Victim Assistance Program. Unfortunately, I come to you and say that last year we were needed to assist 335 residents of West Valley City to get a protective order or stalking injunction. These are free services that we provide here in the county. Most of your residents take advantage of the West Jordan Courthouse, which everybody prefers over the Matheson Courthouse downtown because it's much more accessible, and frankly we have better staff there, so we've got great folks that do that. This is a free service. We represent people start to finish through this horrible ordeal, much like Holly's clients and the folks that they serve. It's a traumatic time in their life. Having been raised in a very wonderful home, I can't imagine the hell it's like to be afraid to go home. And for these folks that we can give assistance, it's a wonderful program. We greatly appreciate your longtime support of this program. We appreciate the recommendation. I also want to put a plug in for your committee, the people that take their time and plow through all of those applications and sift through the information. Appreciate their efforts very much. It's what citizen service is all about. Thank you very much for the support and recommendation.
Thank you. Next we have Dan Swartz.
Yeah, my name is Dan Schwartz. I am the administrator for the Haven. It's a substance abuse treatment center in downtown Salt Lake. First of all, Mayor and council members, I want to just say thank you for the previous funding that you guys offered us to be able to do some upgrading to one of our sober living facilities in downtown Salt Lake. And also thank you for the recommendation for this next funding coming up. I'm sure there's other facilities out there that deserve it just as much as the Haven. The goal of the Haven is to provide safe, affordable housing for individuals that suffer from substance abuse disorder. Last year we served 14 individuals from West Valley City. After treatment, statistics show a substantial rise in success due to programs like the Haven's residential treatment and sober living. The alumni is another crucial element to the Haven's success. By having a network of sober individuals, some which had many years of clean time, give our residents of both programs an opportunity to gain the tools to sustain long-term sobriety. Once again, thanks for the support that West Valley continues on giving the Haven and providing treatment that's needed for these individuals. Thank you.
Thank you. Jan, I think it's
Carter.
Carter?
My fancy name. Not so
Well, but
Jan Carter.
Carter. Oh, okay.
Sometimes my R is a V.
Okay.
My apologies for the handwriting. I'm Jan Carter. I'm the development coordinator at Odyssey House of Utah, and most of our facilities that provide service are in Salt Lake City. Some are in South Salt Lake. They are serving adolescents and parents with children, adults. We do some in-home service. We have transitional housing, outpatient services. The primary service is residential treatment for individuals with addiction to alcohol and drugs. We also provide mental health treatment, and that has been an area into which we're expanding. We recently began a program, we're in the process of structuring that program to provide expanded services to individuals who are in the jail, to help them move through their addiction issues, and hopefully when they exit their imprisonment, be more successful in the community. We serve about, last year, just slightly over 3,800 individuals in the community, and are projecting that it will be closer to about 4,500 this year. So it's a large percentage of the population. In West Valley City, it has been, individuals from West Valley City have been a large component of those that we serve. Perhaps in the 3 years I've been there, one of the highest percentage out of the entitled cities, and within the unincorporated county, I think the only one that surprisingly came close was Holiday. Rich kids, maybe? I don't know. Who get into their parents' drug cabinets. The Salt Lake City is, of course, the biggest area that contributes to our population that needs help. The project that we submitted this year that has been recommended for funding is to help with remodel and enlargement of our medical clinic, which is our newest facility. It opened in 2012, and it's an integrated clinic, which was a little new to me. The goal being to not just provide medical service, but to also integrate the service that we provide with mental health, and to link up anyone who comes to us with the needs that are included with someone who's suffering from substance abuse. So we particularly target individuals in the community who have addiction problems, and those who are unfunded, who have no insurance, those who are low income. We had, over the last 2 years, between 35% and 46% of those who are seeking services from the Martindale Clinic are unfunded. And we fortunately, so far, have been able to provide all of those individuals service. 100% have been funded, some because of donors, individual donors, some because of grants that I've been able to procure, and some because of funding that we've been able to get from CDBG funding. So thank you for what you've helped us with in the past for this and other projects. This would allow us to add it adds 3 exam rooms, but ultimately doubles our capacity to serve. We were able to serve 1,895 patients last year. We project that it will more than double that next year. We already have a waiting list for individuals who are waiting to see us for urgent care and maintenance. We not only take care of patients who have been clients of Odyssey House, but their family members, and there's a huge need. We're the only clinic in the state who is focusing on specifically the needs of individuals who are suffering from addiction. So when we were getting ready to open this clinic, we polled the entire area, and we said 4th Street Clinic, LA Clinic, everyone who's providing clinic services, are we needed? And they said, yes, there's a huge need, and we need to be bigger. We're not meeting the needs. So again, thank you very much for considering our recommendation. Appreciate that. To this point, we have been recommended.
Thank you.
And I have a little thing that I'll give each of you that just tells you a little bit about the services the clinic offers. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Next, we have Brandy Jolly.
Hi, my name is Brandy. I am with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Utah, and first I would like to thank you for having us tonight, and thank you for your recommendation of funding for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Many of you may know Big Brothers Big Sisters provides mentors to kids across the state. Last year we provided mentors and supported them to almost 1,200 kids statewide. 100 of those kids, or nearly 100 of those kids, were West Valley City residents. Also, 31 of our volunteers were also West Valley residents. So we know that not only is the need great in West Valley, but so are the hearts of West Valley. We have a lot of volunteers and really appreciate the support. So thank you very much for the recommendation and for your past funding. I am a proud West Valley. I grew up in West Valley and my parents still live here, so I appreciate the support personally, and I'm glad to come from someplace who supports the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Was there anyone else who had a desire to give public input on this? Yes, please come forward.
Good evening. I hope you all recognize me. I'm Susan Klinker, with the Program Director with the Utah Cultural Celebration Center. The Cultural Center's funding request from the CDBG is to expand our University Diversity Mashup program. So 2016 will be the 4th year that we're hosting this program. And it was developed to deal with some troubling statistics in West Valley. So West Valley scores very low across the board on demographics related to educational attainment. Only 13% of the residents have a bachelor's degree or higher, compared to about 30% statewide. In addition, Hunter and Granger High are enrolling kids in college the year after the fall, after graduation, at a rate of 44%, whereas Granite School District schools on the east side are enrolling kids at a rate of about 78%. So we've been very grateful for the opportunity of CDBG funding to have some creative collaborations with community organizations. And in this case of this event, we collaborate with Granite School District, with Salt Lake Community College, with the University of Utah, and very strongly with Margaret Peterson and the Community Education Partnership. I've spoken with her several times in the past month because she's applying for her new 21st Century grant cycles for the upcoming years. And this year, there's a new component, new federal requirement for her programs that include a college readiness program. And so she's talking to us about how in her grant applications we can partner more. So last year the University Diversity Mashup served about 450 students. And the main chunk of the funding request is for bus transportation to bring them to the Cultural Center, where we can have 20 different members of different community partners there to put together the event with the kids. And with the increased funding that we're asking for, we hope to serve at least 1,200 students next year. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I believe there was one more.
Good evening. My name is Amy Dorsey, and I'm from South Valley Sanctuary. We are one of 2 domestic violence shelters in the valley, and the only domestic violence shelter that services men. And I just wanted to say thank you. We have 2 recommendations in front of you, and we've partnered with West Valley in the past, and I'd like to report that we just finished our kitchen remodel. Thank you to West Valley CDBG Fund. We now have a kitchen that is fully functional for our clients, which is great. We have stoves that actually work when you turn on the burners, which is great. We also have worked with West Valley with the Victim Advocate Program, which is a wonderful program that you guys have. And so I just wanted to say thank you for the recommendations. And that's it. Sorry. Does anybody have any questions or anything? No? I just thought I would open that up. No one's asked that. Thank you.
The council, when they have questions, usually make sure they get them asked. Not shy. Yes, please come forward.
All right, I'm David Bird. I'm here on behalf of the Fox Shadow HOA. And I have to say how excited I am to see that you guys have put us on that list. It's I'm close neighbors with Karen. Well, we live in the same neighborhood. But it's nice to know because we are West Valley City residents, but being an HOA, we tend to not receive all of the wonderful benefits of West Valley City. And that was a decision made 30 years ago, and I wish we could come back. But this CDBG grant will be an opportunity to help our neighborhood catch up with the surrounding neighborhood. Our neighborhood, since I've been living there for about 3-4 years, even in that time has degraded quite a bit. If you want to talk about something on the verge of a blight, it's working on it. So what we talked about with our HOA is a way to revitalize our HOA. There's some beautiful remodeling of, well, what's the word, building all around that neighborhood off of close to 5600 West. All of the wonderful things coming out there, the new schools, everything. It's fantastic what West Valley is doing out there. I love being so close to all of that. So thank you for everybody who's helped make that happen. But our neighborhood is kind of forgotten in the middle there. And so we are asking for this playground, and to see this as part of the recommendation really made me so excited. There's over 300 kids that live in this neighborhood. And when I found out the statistics, 70 to 80% of them are living in low to moderate income. It's definitely a Title I area without any of the Title I benefits because of all the beautiful stuff being built next to it. And so I really hope that we can have this happen because the playground on its own would be a wonderful addition to this neighborhood. And you can hear my kids running around outside. I don't want to bring them in here because they would just seal the deal for you. But I just want to thank you, and it would make a serious difference for that neighborhood and my own life. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else? One more, okay.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Jessica Burnham, and I'm here tonight on behalf of The Road Home, Utah's largest provider of homeless shelter and services. I would first like to express our gratitude for your past partnership with our agency and for the current funding recommendation. According to Utah's homeless point-in-time count, it is estimated that 13,621 individuals experienced homelessness in Utah during 2014. Utah's 2014 Comprehensive Report on Homelessness explains that the cause of homelessness is primarily a lack of available, affordable, or adequate housing. Additional barriers that can lead an individual or family into homelessness include lack of income, disabling conditions, domestic violence, divorce or the sudden loss of household income, incarceration, and having a criminal background, exhaustion of friend and family resources or support, and lack of health insurance, to name only a few factors. The mission of The Road Home is to help people step out of homelessness and back into our community, and we do this by providing emergency assistance, shelter, case management, and permanent housing solutions. We have a request before West Valley City to support both our Salt Lake Community Shelter and our Community Winter Shelter programs. As the largest emergency shelter in Utah, the Salt Lake Community Shelter operates year-round, and the Community Winter Shelter operates during the coldest months of the year to ensure that every man, woman, and child has a place to turn during the coldest months of the year. Once in shelter, clients can access on-site resources such as mental health services, Department of Workforce Services, the Veterans Administration, computers for employment and housing search, and items such as blankets and warm clothing. If deemed eligible, clients can also receive a boost of deposit assistance and short-term rental assistance. Case management services are also available on-site to help clients work toward the primary goal of securing housing. During fiscal year 14, we served 612 West Valley City residents with 18,972 nights of shelter. The requested funding would pay a portion of the salary and benefits of one shelter monitor who would serve as frontline shelter staff. We sincerely appreciate your consideration of the request before you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing no further comments, we will close the public input portion of our hearing. And that is now closed. We will return to the council now for comments or action on Resolution 1584, Community Development Block Grant. Councilman Rushton.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be quick because I want to respect and thank you for your time in coming here tonight, all that has spoken on their proposals for our disbursement of CDBG funding tonight. And I know you probably have, hearing the stories tonight, I imagine you have a lot more important things to do than to spend it with us in the City Council tonight. And so I just want to express how this meeting every year comes around is one of my favorite and enjoyable, but yet one of the most difficult meetings we have. And it's enjoyable because it's good to hear all the things that are going on out in the streets in our community, all the good work that's being done, and all the needs that are being unfulfilled out in the community. But then it's also difficult because I think when every single person got up to speak tonight, I wanted to try to find ways to find additional resources for more money, or wanted to come down and just give you a big hug for the good work that you do. And so I just want to express my sincere appreciation for all those that came tonight, as well as for the CDGB program, which I think West Valley City does a great job of being responsible and trying to do the most good with the most need on, and the committee and the work that's gone into it.
Okay. Councilman Vinson.
I too just want to express my gratitude for the work that you do. Having had family members involved with domestic violence and drug addictions, and having resources for them to be able to go to, I truly do appreciate the work that all of you do. It's a very difficult job that you have, and grateful that somebody is willing to fill those shoes. So thank you.
Any others?
Then, Mayor, I would move approval of Resolution 15-84.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for Resolution 1584. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll place it for a vote. All in favor of approving Resolution 1584, approving our Community Development Block Grant Budget Proposal, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. The resolution is approved. We now move to our next public hearing, which is to consider authorizing and approving our consolidated 5-year plan to HUD for our Community Development Block Grant plans and funds. And this is also something that is required to be in place for us to receive these funds. So that's the issue before us. We would now declare open the public input portion of discussion on Resolution 15-85 on our plan for funds. Is there anyone who would like to speak to this issue? Seeing none, we will close the public input portion and come back to the council for action and comments.
Mayor, I move for approval of Resolution 15-85.
We have a motion to approve. A second?
Second.
We have a second. Properly before us, any further discussion? Councilman Rushton.
Yeah, Mayor, thank you. Just as reading through this, I think it's a good plan and fulfills the requirement of what we're supposed to do to be in line with federal requirements. As I stated last week in our study meeting when we talked about this, I'm glad that it's also flexible enough that as the waters change in the federal government in the next couple of years, as well as our city priorities change, that we can continue to use this program in the way that's most beneficial to our city. One of the things from Housing and Urban Development on their budgets, which remain relatively flat, is that more and more of that money is going into actual housing costs. And so as we continue to see those trends rise, there's going to be less CDBG money, and we're going to need to adjust our plans and our goals and our priorities as that go. And looking forward to working with this document and our plan and this body to accomplish those future goals.
Thank you. Any further comments? We have a motion for no. We got the second. I had to stop and think. You're so quiet when you say it. Okay, we have that before us. Any further comments? Seeing none, we'll place it for a vote. All in favor of approving Resolution 15-85, approving our 5-year plan for HUD, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. The resolution is approved. We now go to Resolution 15-86. This is to approve an assignment, assumption, and consent agreement. This is with Pinnacle Risk Management. They're the ones who do our workman's compensation. And TriStar Risk Management, who have acquired Pinnacle. This clarifies that claims before July 1st, 2013 are with Pinnacle and subsequent are with TriStar which has assumed Pinnacle. Necessary, but we need to make sure that that is clarified. That is the issue then to the council for comments or action.
Mayor, move for approval of Resolution 1586.
Second.
We have the motion and second before us. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll place it for a vote. All in favor of approving Resolution 1586, the assignment, assumption, consent agreement with Pinnacle and TriStar Risk Management, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. The resolution is approved. I believe that completes our business for tonight. No executive session, no further business. Then we'll take one last motion.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. We are adjourned.